online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Starladder I-League Star Series Season 3. We are going into some Group C action, the first map over there after we just finished off Group B. And, well, joining me once again will be Just Harry GG.
Yeah, thank you very much, TomBiz14. And, well, yeah, I mean, like you say, we've got Heroic versus fnatic. Fnatic Academy, sorry. Ooh, that would have been a tasty matchup. But, yeah, no, I mean, as we head into this one, Tom, what do you want to look at first? Do you want to look at the maps? Do you want to look at
already on the screen? Well,
then let's take a look at the maps, because they're already on the screen. Of course, we don't have the production value for us to both know what each other is seeing. Look at the vetoes. The first game is going to be Train, and then the second one's going to be Mirage Decider. It's going to be... What is it? How I forgot? Inferno, right? There you go. Bam. Okay, I just remembered. Sorry. Yeah, coming into this, I think, you know, the favorites to win definitely going to be going the way Heroic, especially when you look at how the map vetoes went. The main crux of Fnatic Academy, despite the fact they're a group of very talented players, ones who, at separate stages throughout their careers, I've always said kind of deserve to be on a good team, and they've all been pulled together to create this Academy team, which is a wonderful thing. But their map pool is extremely limited. And when you look at it, you know, it's kind of like Mirage and Cash, their best two. What else really do they excel on that Heroic aren't better on? Nothing. And it was very easy for Heroic to ban out. They ban Cash just because they don't really play it. Especially, they don't want to play up against Fnatic Academy, so they get rid of that. Fnatic Academy have to get rid of Overpass because they despise that map, and Heroic are pretty damn good on it. They leave Mirage in because it's the only one left that Fnatic Academy are good at. But the issue is Heroic are fantastic on Mirage as well. So I think this one could very easily go 2-0. In favor of Heroic, just because of how the map picks have come out. Inferno's kind of like the wild card, where I feel like no team's really had an amazing amount of time to prepare on it. So if it does come down to a third map, it could be fairly up in the air. But Tom, I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think we're going to see all three maps? Do you think we're just going to see two? You know, I mean, because you can't discount the fact that Fnatic Academy are a very, very talented bunch of players.
Yeah, no, of course, and well, you do have a newbie in the roster for Heroic as well. Obviously, quite a lot of weight on his shoulders after all the sort of trivia that has come out about all the sort of changes and the fact that they've now actually had to fork out some money for him, although they were willing to wait till January originally to actually get him in the roster. Of course, that is Yugi. But, I don't know. I think as well, like, for example, you look at the last few months, this Fnatic team hasn't actually lost on Train. They played it 3 times, they've won it 3 times, and some of the teams they played against were teams like CyberZen, who are actually pretty good at the map. So I don't want to discount, I don't want to take anything away from them. I just think that with the addition of Yugi into this team, like, there's a very good chance we're about to see a third Danish powerhouse, because Heroic have already been there. They've already been there. They've already done that. They've already had that sort of like really good tournaments showing up. I think at the last Starladder event, weren't like they got through. They did well, and they actually played against some of the best teams in the world. So I think that they're definitely going to be a team bordering on Tier 1. So for Fnatic Academy, obviously, if they're going to be bordering on Tier 1, why would they be the Academy anymore?
Yeah, true. Although it would be an interesting scenario where the masters, where the teachers become the students, as it were, and the students become the teacher or the master, but something like that. I don't know, some sort of analogy. You guys know the one I want about. But yeah, no, exactly like Tom said. Anyway, we head to the pistol round now, and Heroic, they were looking fairly decisive over towards B. They've since slowed things down, instead just waiting to see if Fnatic Academy bother going aggressive anywhere, trying to bait out any utility as well. You can see that Batten's got that trusty smoke grenade, but he's all the way over towards Ivy, so that won't be being employed just yet. And if the B-side take does come underway, that smoke really isn't going to have too much of an impact. You could use it to smoke up upper, perhaps, you know, the ramp down into the site, but fairly limited. Would be more preferable if they did decide to go towards A for him, but instead it is going to be B. Golden able to get the first as Yugi falls, the new addition to the team, having no impact into this pistol round. Modi next to go down as Plessen going on this flank, looking to try and find himself another frag. It's going to be tagged down extremely low, survives for an uncomfortably long amount of time, but then finally gets taken down as Valdi equalizes things back into a 3-on-3. But look at this push right in from Cole right now. It's all on a 2-on-2. Nico goes in for the peak from the rafters. It's going to just bait out a defuse. JZ tries going aggressive, has to deal with him. He's in a 1 versus 2, and you've also got Snappy still alive on the site. There's not going to be enough time left to go for the defuse at this point. They're doing a brilliant job of just wasting his time. JZ is going to get one, but now has to fall on back. Wants to try and save the armor if he can. Nico says no, and wants to try and rip his head clean off, but he does spot it. There we go. Nice tap with the P250 as Heroic do indeed pick up the pistol.
Yeah,
oh,
just
Nico
about
actually died there. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I thought he did, but he didn't. That was me being dumb. Sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
He just about manages to get away with it, but a little bit too close. So they actually lose the first couple of picks over on that B site, and it looked like the CTs were just about to dominate. So decent round in the end. Obviously, they get the win. That's the most important thing. I'm most intrigued by the fact at the moment that Golden has himself... Well, he did have himself a Molotov. He's just thrown it, but he also has a Zeus. And I'm all for a little bit of Zeus action.
He doesn't need the Zeus as he finds 2 with the Deeg. Finally going to get dealt with there by Snappy. A 2-for-1 trade, though. As fnatic have a very nice start. That Zeus doesn't even see the light of day. Instead, it's all the Deagle. You got up close. Finds one on the Karis. That's going to be back into a 3-on-3 now. Plessen's alone and isolated over towards B. But are Heroic going to continue this push? I mean, they have found 2 frags, but at the same time, they must be somewhat thinking there's a potential for this site to be stacked, for them to go aggressive early on. Still looks like they're going to commit to it for the time being. Plessen will be alone to hold things down. Bomb hasn't committed just yet. A lot of this is going to depend on if Nico can find this opening frag. He's looking to try and peek on out. There's a slight gap in the smoke for him to look through. JZ Walkins out over in towards connector. Can rotate quickly between either one of these sites. Plessen alone. Is it looking like B is going to be the site in question? All 3 players for Heroic over towards here. He's underneath the ladder with that CZ. Doesn't spot out the first, but now has his chance. Time to shine. Finds that first frag. JZ as well with the D. Gonna get another. It's all on Snappy. 1 versus 2. 30 seconds left. He's trying to rotate back around. Probably head down through the ramp. Might want to grab the AK, but instead selects to stay with the UMP. And he's trying to fake the rotate, I think. No, actually just going to commit to the A site, and it does pay off right now. They haven't rotated through just yet. The Molotov should allow him to get this bomb down. It's a 1 versus 2. He's got a flash to play around with, but very little HP.
The bomb plant will at least give them something for the next round, but now he's got to try and take this back. The one advantage is he's up against Deagles, and we know that these can be a little bit random RNG at some times. So he's got a little bit of a chance. Baiting out the time could also work wonderfully. Now, Jay doesn't have any armor either. They're just going to be going together. I like the fact they're doing this, but they do realize they have to speed things up. He's going to find that first kill as well. Snappy looking to do this alone. It's going to be Batten trying to bring him out of hiding. Will do just that, expecting him to go for the defuse, and he now knows he doesn't have time. Well played by Snappy, managing to win his team a round that they probably shouldn't have got after the way they performed. But at least it is going to go their way. And they will keep themselves a UMP and do a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, they eliminate everyone, and they carry that UMP forward. Of course, Heroic have got enough money to buy on down, but still, their economy isn't going to be looking as strong as they would have liked in these Anticos. You can see Yugi going to be the Mac Daddy for the side of Heroic, trying to farm up some cash that they do so desperately need, as is Valdi. And Golden, actually, interestingly enough, elects to go for the Deagle armor buy. Still has enough money to buy up the next one. This does give them a little bit more in the way of firepower. You've also got Batten, don't forget, with that UMP they're able to save from that last round. And all in all, I mean, this isn't a terrible scenario for them to be in. Batten's got aggressive as well over towards A main. Yugi is here, but both of them having the SMGs. Now, Batten doesn't have head armor, so in theory he shouldn't be able to win this engagement, but there you go, he does fall head armor, not even playing into it whatsoever, as Yugi just eliminates him up front and personal with the Mac 10. Going to turn things back into a 5-on-4. The advantage going the way of Heroic right now. Kara's going to fall as well. This A site going to be opened up. And now the push coming in from Heroic.
Well, they're going to be watching the smoke and will catch one off. And this is just going to be a clean-up for him. He was definitely the star of the show when I saw them over at the I-League Season 2. I actually got to speak to him for a little bit, and very, very nice guy, down to earth. and like was almost just happy for the, because this was like when the previous shuffle happened and Magisk had joined over to what was Dignitas at the time, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm just happy to get an opportunity. And this was after I think he dropped something ridiculous like 30 or 40 frags versus Tyloo and actually knocked them out of the tournament. So very down to earth, very nice guy, and I'm hoping this team works for them really, because a lot of talent over here, a lot of talent.
Yeah, I mean, as though we didn't need another Danish super team. That is going to be the case. And while Muddy's going to find that first frag out onto Golden already, that B presence going to be diminished. And Heroic setting up towards here. 4 players within earshot. Pleasant trying to hold things down solo. This time not in terms because that's just how they're playing the site with him as the anchor, just because they have lost Golden early on. He now finds himself here alone. They've had to fool Karis back over towards Connector for the fast rotate between A and B. And as the smokes and utility go raining on in, just a full rotate going to be called. They're going to chance it, and it might pay off. Pleasant able to find one through the smoke. Flash comes out, finds himself a second. And now he's returned this man advantage back in favor of the Swedes. Bomb's going to go down. Nico might get caught off guard by Karis up towards rafters, and he does so. 2 versus 4. And well, Muddy can't quite connect that shot through the smoke. It's all on Yugi, the new addition to the roster, to try and clutch this out. 1v4, and he's just going to fall back to save, obviously, in this situation. Doesn't want to be facing off against the 4 rifles on fnatic Academy. They get the bomb plant. They save themselves an AK as well, and will have enough money to buy up into the next round.
Yeah, they went for a little bit of a bonus. There's still an SMG or 2 in the mix, so not too much of a problem. They will also have plenty of money to actually get that in play, and I think Yugi may even go for the AWP in this scenario. Got 7,000 in his bank account already, and after seeing dropping an AK, actually, he's not. Oh no, there we go. Snappy drops him one instead. A little bit of a weird way of doing things, but they do juggle the weaponry so that everybody can get utility, and he can still have himself an AWP. So nice decision making from them. We will now be Valde going over towards Ivy position, but not going to spot anything just yet. And so far, so good for the CT side. You can get dunked down to 45 HP. That's a dirty nade. I think they're going to be pretty confident in Pleasant over towards his B side. He did very well in the previous round to actually shut down. You have to remember, they already had a man disadvantage when that push came in.
Right now, though, Heroic, they are taking things slowly. Players over towards the Tellers at B, but then you also have Valde and Yugi out towards mid. And this is very reminiscent of going for a split in through Pop and A main. And it looks like actually not what they're going to do. Bomb's making its way over towards B. Instead, they might be trying to go for a fake here. They keep 2 players over. There we go. Fake down in towards B. Bomb's going to head down through Pop. 3 players here to try and kickstart this. Pleasant and Golden don't rotate off just yet, and Karis actually falls back towards Connector as well. That's going to make taking this A site just that little bit easier. 1 smoke can nullify that position, but they will have to go fast. And right now, Heroic have proven they like to do anything but. Instead, they're just maintaining this slow play. Down the smokes and flashes, raining into the site. Molotov's going to go out as well from that close position. Not going to be able to find anything just yet. Jay-Z walking up on top of the train. Might be able to spot out one of these players when the push comes on the way. Karis sees Valde's tiny little face picking up over the ladder, but he can't quite connect the shot. Peeks out wide, pays for it with his life. Jay-Z walking up to find 1, but it's Muddy to take the site. Finds 2 quick entries. Pleasant does deny that bomb plot, with only 10 seconds left. They have to get the bomb down. Jay-Z Walken's trapped over towards Old Hell, but he should be able to find this shot. Valde is able to eliminate him there. With only 5 seconds left, bomb's going to go down just in the nick of time. Valde and Nico, the 2 players to try and clutch this out. Batten does spot 1, but he can't connect that shot. Pleasant as well. The crossfire, not going to be too ideal. And as a matter of fact, you can already see that you guys going for a... Valde's going for a very, very long rotate.
Oh, no. Barra gets spotted out. This leaves it all down to Valde, and I think the sound cue is giving him away. He's going to get peeked as well. Batten will finish him off, and that's going to be a good retake in the end for the CT side. 2 versus 2. They close things down. And on A site, that's actually very difficult to do, I want to point out. This site is not easy. There's so many places to hide. But I'm a little bit interested by Valde's rotate. Now, he could have just taken down the left side of the train, had a little bit of a different angle. I think he was trying too hard to sort of mind game them. If his teammate went down, they would go, okay, there wouldn't be a second one over towards Pop Dog. But because the time got the better of him, he had to run down the ladder. His position was very easily notified. And, well, now they're going to have to go for a force into this one. Interestingly, do still have the AWP onto Yugi, but it's Snappy and Muddy taking a little bit of a hit.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Muddy kind of relegated back onto this UMP. He's someone who in the previous round got them a lot of their entries out of the sites. You know, Grind hasn't had the strongest start, but I still think he's someone who, if you you know, toss him something a little bit more powerful, he can make magic happen. But instead, he is relegated down to the UMP. Heroic this time setting up their smokes and flashes in towards A, looking to go a hell of a lot faster, and this might benefit them well. The slow plays haven't been working out for them. Those smoke's going to cut the site in half. Karis does make his way up into heaven to try and nullify that. He can't see the top. Bomb's going to go down. A nice boost over the smoke. Like you say, they spot out JZ. He's not ready for this. I don't think anyone is. Karis as well walks to the firing line, and it works out really well. A nice innovative boost that we haven't really seen before. Valley's going to fall off with the trade as Blessing comes in for the retake. He finds himself a second as well. A nice bit of spray control there, backed up by Golden. Bomb still ticking away. 2 versus 2. They have to watch their flankers once again.
They heard him.
Yeah, they have heard money. Checking the angle. He finds the first though, switches things out, doesn't expect it. Golden will also be there. DQ's going to be coming in, and Yuga, you have to land a shot through the smoke here. He's just going to be sticking it. Pros don't fake. And oh no, Golden gets it.
That is not the way that was supposed to go. Yugi couldn't quite line up the shot, and oh, that is just so unfortunate for them. It seemed like the flank from Muddy was going to work out after he gets the first kill, but he didn't expect the second person to be there. And, well, that is going to be a round that definitely should have gone the way of the T side. Everything seemed to be aligning. Plessum with a lovely double spray, it has to be said. But now, they're still going to have a buy. Obviously, Yugi saving the AWP, which will help him out in the end. It's going to be back to 3-0, and the CT side have been handed a bit of a lifeline.
Yeah, I mean, every single round in these rifles, that bomb has gone down time and time again. 3 defuses coming out from Fnatic Academy. Their retakes have been on point, and at the same time, the actual holds from Heroic have been fairly lackluster, to say the least. That round, it was a 5v2 with bomb planted. They still managed to lose out. JZ Walkins opens this one up, finds that first frag, and he could have returned it back into a 4-on-4 there. They can't deal with JZ just yet, but they might be able to deal with Karis as he rotates on through, peeks out, and Yugi quicker on the trigger, looking to try and remedy his previous mistakes and shortcomings of the last round. Now looking for a second, and right now, just looking like a turkey shoot to him, finds himself a second frag. Decides it's a little too risky to keep re-peeking that same spot, falls on back. And JZ Walking, my favorite player on the roster of Fnatic Academy, able to find one, but then swiftly returned by Yugi. As it all falls on the pattern, he is going to go down at the hand of Snappy. 3-4 Heroic. They do manage to finally remedy that afterplant problem. They open things up in towards B, and they also reset the economy of Fnatic Academy.
Yeah, I think it was a long time coming with the last few rounds, the way that things have gone with only a couple of players surviving and very close situations that Heroic could have won. And now they finally take that hit. The thing is, they're not going to be able to buy into the next round unless, of course, they manage to pull something magical out of this one. They're onto those pistols, and, well, here is Yugi looking to pad his stats a little bit. Currently towards the bottom half of the board, but I think that's about to swiftly change, already getting himself 2 kills, stealing one away from Snappy. And can this Diga do anything? Yes, it can. Picks off Valde. Gonna have the push coming in. Blessed actually gets another one, and this is just getting so costly already for the T side. They shouldn't be losing players in these scenarios. It's only pistols. And, well, Yugi has had enough already. Gets himself a 3rd kill of this round, pushing himself up that board. See if the CT side can do any more damage.
Batten with this high-powered hand cannon, wreaking some havoc previously, looking for another, finds himself a second frag. He's making it costly right now, gonna get orped through the train, but still lives to see another day. Tags down Yugi as well. And that finally is gonna fall, but still 2 frags with that $700 investment. Nothing you can be too upset with. 3-5 right now. Heroic find themselves a 5th over on the T side. Now let's not forget, this is Heroic's map pick. And they are going to be starting over on that less favored side. So picking up 5 rounds already is going to be handy for them. Look at this spy from Fnatic Academy. Nades across the board. They're just going to go for the howitzer artillery play. Stick as many nades as they can downrange. And while the nades go raining on in, somehow he's still alive. What the hell? Valde's thinking himself lucky. He just got mortar striked and he's lived to tell the tale. 12 HP. He has to fall on back, but Snappy's there to pick up the pieces, finds 2, and now it's all on Batten. Yugi just raining in death from afar with the AWP. He went from being the player who lost them that round with the defuse through the smoke to now top fragging for his team, 10-3. And I feel like, you know, Yugi does kind of join the team in amongst you know, he's going to have a lot of eyes kind of digging into him, judging his performance. And I feel like right now, you know, you can't help but feel like he's doing phenomenally well, at least in games that we have seen him kind of perform in. But being the newest addition is always a scary thing.
aggressive push. The rest of the team, I think they've realized the holes in this defense. It's speed, making their way out onto the site. Nothing that can be done by the remaining players. I don't think they're going to look to try and find something. That quick kill may open up some avenues, however. But realistically, a site plant, falling back into after plant positions, there should be little to no hope in this situation for Fnatic Academy. But they have managed to do quite well so far in their retakes at least. So they are going to be having a little look around, a nosy around, and well, Yugi's going to send one of them packing. Snappy gets another, and now Batten completely surrounded with Modi flanking will finish things off. 7 rounds already for Heroic. It's going to be, well, a pretty ludicrous situation. Just look at the money on their side of things.
Yeah, the money is fast amounting for the Danes. They're just going to be rolling in cash. Doesn't matter to them on the side of Fnatic Academy. Once again, going to be going for this artillery bite. A couple of nades to play around with, some deagles as well. And we know that they can make these deagles work. Nade straight away out towards A main isn't going to find any damage. They keep the one up on Pleasant for B. This time it might pay off. 3 players over towards here early on. But if he peeks this angle, they should be quick to deal with him. He knows he can't take that peek again. They do spot his shoulder, so he falls on back. He just waits with bated breath for the time being. Rotates around. Golden here as well. Does tag Snappy through the plywood there a little bit, but actually comes off worse in that engagement. Jumps on down. That's Snappy to find the first. Opens up this B site. Golden here alone with the deagle, trying to rain in some death. Snappy continuing his reign of terror. Makes his way on through, mopping up these frags. Looking to try and pad those stats, and now Karis on the flank, facing off against 2 players here with this P250.
A cleanup brigade has come in, another flawless round. And the scary prospect is now, so that's the second round in the last 3 where they've had 5 players surviving. Money is going through the roof at the moment for Heroic, and with already 8 rounds on the board, it's going to be very difficult for Fnatic Academy to come back from this one. Of course, it's definitely possible. Especially, like, that's one thing you have to take into account when adding a new player. T side, a lot of it you can just sort of pick up as you go along. Like, if somebody has a strategy, you follow the strategy. Maybe you don't know a smoke or 2, but that's fine. You just have to work that trading game. And for an AWPer, normally you're looking for picks. CT side, it depends how you've slotted it. Are you replacing somebody else's position? Does that person then have to adapt? Are you picking up a new position because they're just slotting you into where the previous player was playing? It really does come down to a lot more practice, a regime being brought in, and just knowledge from the team. So definitely going to be interested to see how the CT sides play out more for Heroic. So far, their T side is looking phenomenal.
Yeah, already they kickstart this one with a free frag out on Akaris. No trade frag in sight, and already Fnatic Academy looking to be very vulnerable into this round. Once again, Pleasant having to solo this B site, and I mean, you can't fault him. He's been doing a very good job of soloing B. It just feels a little bit unfair, right? Because you see the team obviously normally dive towards A, or he goes down to B, and then they can't retake. And it feels like he's someone who, and this is a real problem with the CT side, you don't kind of utilize your key players if they are either rotating into a site that's already far gone, or are having to anchor and then get eliminated and rely on their teammates to come back in the clutch. So a little bit feeling bad for him. He's still over towards B. Found that frag just a moment ago. Jay-Z walking as well, making quick work of Yugi. And this round looks like it could very easily go the way of Fnatic Academy. Now Golden finds one out on a Snappy, leaving it all on Nico. Does have that ult, but he misses the shot. Has to fall on back. 20 seconds left. Fully flashed, and if they have any nades, now's the time to use them, but they don't. Nico peeks out wide, does find Golden at least, but only 10 seconds left. He should really think about saving at this point. Still committed. I think finally he's going to realize the timer not on his side. Now falls on back.
Another repeat. They do have a ridiculous amount of money, to be fair to him, so any extra damage would have been worthwhile, just because you know for a fact that the T's are going to have whatever they want. 15,000 on Snappy. It's not like he's going to be running out of money anytime soon. So if they drop a couple of players, force a few more rebuys, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, when it comes down to 5 seconds, you don't just want to throw that up away and not get any money. So might as well just go back and save it. And that will be dropped over to Yugi for this round. Either way, CT side are going to have a buyback on the board, but their money is now in dire straits. And if they lose this next one, $1,400 will be there to greet them on the other side.
Yeah, they are on the realms of an economic reset here on the side of Fnatic Academy. Once again, they're Heroic. They take things very slowly, ditching their high-speed takes of the previous couple of rounds. Making their way over here towards B slowly but surely. They do still have Yugi to watch that flank. Waiting to see if any aggression comes out from Fnatic Academy. Of course, they're not going to give it to them. Just opting to play things safe. 2 players over at Ivy. 1 left to hold the site solo. 2 players over here at B. Interestingly enough, normally it is just Pleasant to hold things down solo. This time, Golden's already here, and Heroic, unbeknownst to them, might be walking into this. Alternatively, we might be seeing a similar fake to what we saw last time. Yugi can make his way in through A main. And then you send the rest of the guys down through Pop. There's a lot of possibilities open to Heroic right now. They don't have a lot of information. They don't have a lot of time left. They have let that clock go down. So whatever they do have to commit to. And they have no information as to what's going to be going on. Smokes and flashes now out towards this A site. And it is looking like it's going to be a fake. They make their way over towards B. 3 players now over towards A. And then Pleston starts to rotate off as well. Golden's going to pull Pleston to find 1 over towards Connector. Looking for a second. It's going to get tagged down low and finally falls at the hand of Snappy. That fake working perfectly. They catch Pleston mid-rotate. And now they get that bomb down.
Look at Valde's position. This is just absolutely perfect. Lights up 1. Gets the second as well. Round over. Jay, just run for the hills. You should be able to do anything from this. Takes 1 as an almost good luck charm as he fades out. And already, there's a push to find him. Modi was so confident in his teammates there that he is now all the way back into A main. However, they may just cross paths. Ivy is going to be the spot where Jay attempts to save.
So Tom, I'm very curious, right? What do you think of the idea of some of the, some of the Swedish teams, which have undoubtedly hit a bit of a struggle lately, some of the tier 1 Swedish teams, just kind of maybe trying to pick out a couple of these players from the Fnatic Academy team and raise them under their own wing? Because the real issue I see with having an academy team is you have all these young players in one place. Now, granted, they can be like coached and brought up with the org. Fnatic being very established, very, a load of experience when it comes to CS. But you don't think it's better to kind of stick a new player in a team with a bunch of experienced people as opposed to having them all together?
It depends the way you look at it, though. Because, like, for someone to become a star, I don't think you can start in a big team because you're just going to be pushed back. Whereas if you start in a lower team and build up, I'm actually going to have to stop talking. They're actually starting to win this round with the pistols. Just shutting them down. How is this working? I'm just going to completely leave that point. Yugi, good luck, buddy. You've just been absolutely cornered. He's got 4 players left to find. They've just turned this round out of absolutely nothing. Clearly the aggression was the way that they should have sorted this one. But maybe, just maybe, Yuki can save this one. There's 3 players left. He doesn't have the bomb. So this would be an absolute miracle if he manages to try and pull this one off. A few angles he's got to look through, but really it's going to be whether he can take down Jay on that AWP. And Jay is just going to be holding. Actually, this is the shot, but there is Pleasant to refrag.
Yeah, 5-9 as Fnatic Academy. They do manage to find that one from seemingly nowhere. They keep 3 players alive as well. That's going to help out the economy overall, as we did see last time when they picked up that stray round. They were in the realms of a reset. They were also going to whittle away at the economy of Heroic a little bit. Of course, if they win this one, it won't matter because it's the last round of the half, and I only just realized. So there we go. 5-9. Pro commentator. TT Tours. Yeah, we can see right now Heroic. Once again, we try to take things slowly. Jay-Z walking over towards Round Halls, tries to spot that out, but it's going to be Molotov'd out, and things get a little bit toasty for him for a while. He's already tagged down to 50 HP, going to try and take this peak, but Money's up close, and oh, a nice flick from Jay-Z Walkings there. Money goes down, and that's an early man advantage for Fnatic Academy. He's already 50 HP. It would have taken 2 bullets from Muddy to find that frag, but Jay-Z just quicker on the trigger to mop him up. Now you can see Heroic, they're stacking up outside of B. They're still very committed to trying to take this site, but you've got to contend with Jay-Z Walkins, who's just such a beast on that AWP. And Yugi, the one trying to counteract it, is going to be having a bit of a hard time, especially when you look at the angle he's coming in from. He's going to be reinforcing the hole with Snappy, who makes his way on down. Plaston's able to find 1, looking for a second. It's going to be dealt with by Nico. Now it's all on Jay-Z to hold down the site. Valde on the flank, able to find 1. It does shut down the rotate, at least for a little bit, but it's still a 2-on-3. The man advantage going the way of Fnatic Academy. Bomb's going to go down. And Yugi able to get Karis on that rotate.
Jay will be getting up close and personal, trying to find something with this AWP. They have been pretty good on their retakes so far, but the problem is they just get slaughtered by these fraggers. Only 1 man left to try and deal with something. He got the first pick. looking for another. We'll actually find it onto Nico, but it's all onto Yugi. Orpa versus Orpa. We are actually going to see him go for the defuse. He's in there, but Yugi doesn't take anything to charge, pushes out into the Molotov, and finds the kill. Both will fall, but the 10th round, importantly, will go over to Heroic, who've done very well on this T side.
Yeah, phenomenal T side from them. Like you say, though, one of the kind of drawbacks of having a newer player in the roster is where do they slot in on that CT side, and I feel like that's something we're going to have to really look at. As well as that, you have Plesson and Jay-Z players who are fragging, you know, extremely well. Plesson holding down that B site, and whenever you have two people who are kind of performing way better than the rest of the team, you're going to benefit so much to being on that T side. You can use them as your entries, you know, you can have them clutch out these rounds in 1v2s, 1v3s, kind of holding down the site. You can do a lot more if you have a singular kind of star player, star fragger on your team over on the T side than you can on the CT side. So going to be interesting to see how this shapes up now that we have swapped around. Can see a boatload of utility considering it is the pistol round over on the side of fnatic Academy. This has to be some sort of preset strategy going into this.
Yeah, that is a redonkulous amount of utility, but we'll see how they actually use it going into this round. Now, clearly they have something planned, looking like the A hit is already ready and waiting. They're going to try and take over Ivy using a bit of this utility, and actually both smokes have now been exploited. We're going to see them push out. Yugi starts things off, but it is going to be a quick trade from Karis, who's been very quiet so far. And actually the rotation already coming in as the site has been taken, but that's fine. They're going to be playing for this retake.
Going to be down right now. Might be able to find one, but here's Karis. He, like you say, he's been quiet. Suddenly pokes up in the pistol round. I'm going to get two. Finally going to get dealt with by Valdi. The man advantage going away. Heroic. Snappy finds himself another. It's all on Golden, who does get that first on a nice peek. Smoke's going to go down, but he finds it, and now it's a one-on-one. And Golden's done everything he needs to and more. Valdi goes to stick that defuse, but he's only got 9 HP. He really can't afford to. Does fake it out, looking over the top of the smoke. Trying to find Golden. Falls back on down onto the bomb, but there you go. Golden gets the triple, and that's going to be the pistol round going the way of fnatic Academy. An insane round from him to secure that 6th on the board for fnatic Academy, and now they're going to be at the mercy of the anti-eco on the side of Heroic. They are going to be force buying on down what they can, as you would expect. Modi on the scout, which can do some decent damage on Train because of the long angles, but still 2 AKs to try and remedy that problem. And interestingly enough, not much armor picked up on the side of Heroic.
Yeah, looking like they are just going to be saving some of their money ready for potentially an AWP. I think that's what Yugi's going for. Nico may just want the extra utility, or they might go straight in with a double ult setup. So nice work, at least from Golden. Getting a 1 versus 3, especially as somebody actually went straight onto the defuse. So to get that shot instantly just completely changed the round. Either way, in this one they've done some nice early damage. Modi with the scout, already down to just 15 HP. Of course, every tag that he gets is so valuable for these pistols. Just make it so that maybe a couple of bullets will be enough to actually finish off these remaining targets. At the moment, fnatic Academy are just going to be playing this one relatively passively, hoping for someone to go aggressive into their hands, but it doesn't look like it. And they are just going to slowly edge what looks like their direction over towards this B site. Shooting out the windows, a little bit of a sound cue that maybe some smokes are going to go into A, but the fact is they are all rotating towards the B site. They're going to go pop?
No, they're not going to be making no everyone's B right now. 30 seconds left. When the push comes underway, the rotate should be fairly quick. I mean, you've already got Valdi over towards Pop Dog, playing up close to personal with that CZ. Smokes and flashes into the site now. Rotate already underway. Snappy able to get one. They still haven't dealt with him, and there's Nico on the cross, able to take the head off of Plesson. No trade frag to come through just yet. The man advantage actually going to be going the way of Heroic. Bomb goes down. Yugi watching the cross with that Deagle, putting the hurt down range, and that's going to be Golden dropped out of the equation. It's all on Jay-Z and Batten to hold this down. These Deagles doing work right now. They don't even have armor to play around, but then Jay-Z at the mercy of Yugi. He's going to fall as well. It's all on Batten. 1 versus 2. He's got to try and hold this off. They don't have a kit to play around with. They've got to try and get this frag sooner rather than later. Flash goes out. Batten goes in for the peek. Modi's not in a great place to try and trade. He finds the first, and now Batten on the other side of the smoke has secured this round. Modi looking to try and fall back. Needs to deal with this player. Can't prevent him saving. The AK does save up the scout as kind of the diamond amongst the turd, if you will. But still, that's a round going the way Fnatic Academy. At a heavy cost, though, 7 to 10 secured, and they're going to look to try and farm some money up now. They got to go for these SMGs to try and rebalance the books.
Yeah, and with the extra damage that was done, we will see a few pistols purchased up by the CT side to try and do some extra damage in this round. You can see them, as you said, picking up a little bit more, actually, on the rifle side of things. I'm quite surprised considering, but I suppose if they keep all of these weapons standing, it's just as good as not actually just spending another on a rifle in the next round after using an SMG. So, well, a little bit of damage coming out, not anything too hefty at the moment, and in fact this is a straight A stack, and Jay is going to quickly find that there is absolutely no one on B. The rotation will come out from Valde, but soon going to realize there's not really too much they can do in this one, and already the cleanup should begin for his T side.
Molly with that scavenge scout, hoping to try and do some damage. Nika's going to fall. Excellent aggressive Jay-Z now. Snappy coming up from behind. Might better do some damage. I don't think Kara's heard it. Might have just heard that last audio cue at the final second. Will be peeking out, and P250, despite being lethal at that range. Oh, Pleasant with the knife! Go! Go! No, okay, it's a Glock, but still. Pleasant just doesn't care for these Danes. It is going to be an 8-10 scoreline. As Fnatic Academy picked that one up, and also they keep, importantly, all 5 players alive. That's going to help boost the economy. Wouldn't surprise me if we just see these 2 UMPs stay in circulation thanks to how strong they are right now, and no one on this side of Heroic having head armor. Definitely just going to be at the full mercy of those UMPs. Well, that singular UMP now on Pleasant.
Got himself that AWP in play. Said his name many times in this game, but mainly for good reasons. Currently second on the board. Most frags in the game joint with Pleasant. And only 9 deaths. A couple of saves coming in for him. He's at the moment gathering up over towards Ivy. Again, looking like they may just look to try and split onto this A side. They seem to quite enjoy throwing the smokes onto the left side and then actually try to push out onto the site and just basically merge into a group surrounding the remaining players on that site. However, not actually pushing in that direction just yet. They haven't utilized that smoke. It's almost just a play for Modi to know that there's somebody there. Maybe just try and hold him in position as they go in other directions. Does still seem like we are setting up for somewhat of an A hit, but with such a long way to go and not a huge amount of time left, they do need to start making their move, and this is where the smoke will go in. It's actually going to be the same one, and Modi this time will actually spot a couple of players over on that Ivy position.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing on in, smoking some flashes, raiding in towards the A site now, and well, Nico and Valdi going to have their works cut out for them. Nico going to do too much, but Yugi does fall straight away at the mercy of Plesnu. Just going to go huge with this UMP, no head armor. These are at the full mercy of the run and gun SMG. Golden finds 2 as well. It's all on Nico. 1 versus 2. Bomb's not going to be down just yet. It's going to buy him a little bit more time as he pushes up through the smokes. They kind of create a wall for him, but it is going to be watched. Pleston keeping an eye on it. Nico's managed to sneak onto where he looks away at just the wrong time, but as does Pleston, the timing not favoring any of these guys. Jump going to give away an audio cue, and there we go. Pleston picks it up. 9 to 10. Fnatic Academy find themselves another round. Heroic not able to pick up anything on their CT side. It has looked incredibly vulnerable for them, and I mean, it's fairly surprising as well, because Train isn't one that Fnatic Academy are overly, you know, amazing on. Like you said, recently they've had a fairly decent stint at it, being currently, what, unbeaten, I believe, within their last few games.
Yeah.
Now Heroic trying to take the fight to them. Rush up towards B. Money's going to get tagged down low off the bat. 4 players heading towards B. They actually rotate Nico back. Everyone else now going to head through Pop. That Molotov delays the push down through there. Bomb's going to go down. It's a 5-on-5 retake. And at this point, it feels like some sort of weird retake service. Swedes v Danes.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a bias server, as they haven't given them much weaponry to play with. Modi, in fact, will be able to drop 1, and that's an isolated kill. There's nobody anywhere near that to trade, so that should be a weapon into his hands. Unfortunately, it is only a UMP, so all that's really going to be utilized from it is possibly a couple of exit frags. Maybe able to use it into the next round, but it depends where. Like, over towards the B site, you could go for a little bit of aggression, but wouldn't really I wouldn't really recommend that either way. You can see the remaining players just going to be looking to try and hold them in, get some exits on their way out. Valdi is going to have a lot of people pushing his way. Maybe a lineup is possible. In fact, he will get 2. Looking for a third. Not quite enough bullets for him to finish that one off. But it will be a bit of damage. But just look at the money over on the Fnatic Academy side of things. They have got plenty.
Fnatic Academy looking to be incredibly strong over on the T side. They equalize things up 10 to 10. Heroic still yet to put up a single round on their CT side. Finally represented with that chance. Once again, going to be buying on down. Modi only on that UMP. Yugi with the AWP. Have yet to really see him have too much of an impact on this CT side. Valley's going to fall very early on. Snappy tries to get the refrag, but he can't quite connect the shot. And they've already had to rotate Yugi around over towards Connector to try and watch this. Now he can rotate quickly over towards B if needs be. Plesson's boosted up to watch Ivy. As long as no one peeks this, it shouldn't yield a frag for them. But still a very strong start coming out once again from Fnatic Academy. They've picked up that first. Valdi's already gone down. And you can see that Heroic, they're not really too sure as to how to play in this scenario. They've gone for a fairly standard setup. 3 players still over towards A. They leave. You got to try and solo that B site. But still, I mean, a man down this early on the CT side, no trade frag was possible in that scenario. Now Bomb's making its way over towards B, slowly but surely. They have got Yugi to rotate at the drop of a hat, but still, it leaves a lot of pressure on Nico, who right now isn't really in the best position to try and hold this. He can watch the push down through ramp, and that's going to be really it. He has to rely on the rotate from Yugi to keep him covered from rafters. Now, the benefit to this position is you can take it very passively. Once you find that first frag, you can just hunker down and wait for the rotate, and that's exactly what he's going to want to do. Does throw down the Molotov as well. As they try to cross, he actually pushes onto the site to hold it, finds that first frag. Modi's here as well. And now that Molotov's bought them plenty of time to rotate on through. Nico finds himself a second, looking for a third, peeks out wide, he gets it, and that's going to be the dream hold from him. Almost like all hope was lost there for the Danes, but he locks down the site, finds those 3 frags, and that's going to be them picking up their 11th round. Plenty of money, though, for the Swedes. Will allow a buy once again.
Yeah, no, really nice just play in general there. Not only the aim, but also the Molotov used to stop anybody running across him. It just played very, very smartly. Isolates the guy in upper early on so that then there's no way he can get pushed from behind. Basically just singles out each player so that he has a positive duel every single time. We're going to see a buy coming back in for the T side as well, so not too much of a problem. Jay going to be holding on towards Modi, who's just trying to bait the shot, but actually gets caught because of it too quick on the trigger. And that will actually leave them with a man disadvantage yet again. Once more, Heroic will have to try and come back into this round.
Yeah, they've lost the Danish player early on. And, I mean, I was going to try and make a joke there, but honestly, it's just, nah. Too low-hanging fruit, I believe is the expression.
Do not do that.
Yeah, no, never. Modi's gone down already. Once again, Fnatic Academy having a very strong start, as per usual. They do manage to find these entries almost every single time. And then they take things very slowly. Interesting enough, they don't normally pounce at the opportunity to try and capitalize on this. Instead, they take it, like I say, at a very, very slow pace, so as to not give away that advantage they're able to get. They're making their way over towards B. Bombs in tow. They have 2 players coming out Ivy for that rotate in through CT, and it's going to go unchecked. Snappy able to find one onto Batten, but they haven't been able to deal with Klesny, who has got past. Finally going to get dropped. And now Nico to hold down the B site once again. He did it last time. Can he do it again? Yugi's already rotated on through, finds that first frag. Nico's on the site, and should be able to mop up both of these. Finds that first. Bomb's going down in the smoke, but Nico finds it. Denies the bomb plant, and that's going to be Heroic arriving at 12 rounds. They take that 2-round advantage and deny Fnatic Academy their first lead throughout this match.
Oh, we're actually going to see the pause from the Academy as well. They've clearly decided that they weren't happy with how the last couple of rounds went. Interestingly, it was more down to just their late round strategy of trying to push onto that B side once again. They got isolated by the AWP, and then we just had Nico smartly maneuvering himself around. Not really any problems there. It looks like the CT side might have a little bit of a pause of their own. Obviously, they've only actually managed to win 2 rounds. Now, you take away the sort of the pistol, it was still 2 buy rounds in a row for either side, so not really much of a problem there. Money, obviously very problematic at the moment for the Swedes, but I don't know. The CTs, they've got a little bit. They've got the 7 grand over on Nico. A couple of players starting to build up as well. But it wouldn't take too long to actually break this.
Yeah, definitely not. And well, for those of you who are new to mine and Tom's cast, it's kind of, you know, just say hello and ask you guys for your opinions. So be sure to keep your predictions, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your existential crises teaming in chat. Quick shout out to the first couple of names that we see. You got Twixy Med 2 times. I think it's just meant to be 2x. Hammerhead Kitty, what a name.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Parados 911. The Zabine. Lonari Official Hippo. Are you the official hippo, or is that, I don't know. Also, Lanari, listening to this stream and watching fnatic G2, that must be incredibly confusing, may I just say. Pychip says hello. How you doing, buddy? Official Bubble. This is the first map, in case you were wondering. The second map is going to be Mirage. This one is Heroic's map pick. Second pick is Mirage. That's, of course, Fnatic Academies. And the decider is Inferno, the great equalizer in which all teams were forged. Shout out as well to Temp is here again. Rector live. You know what? I mean, I think we're done. I think that's all good. Official text. You can have one. There you go. Entry arc MT as well. Thank you guys for tuning on in. We do appreciate it, by the way. For all those of you who are active in chat, we'll, you know, make an attempt to try and say everyone's name at least once. No, we can't do that. That is impossible. There's like 3,000 people. But we do as many as we can just to say hello. Because, you know, chat interaction is nice. And it's not something you can get away with doing on the bigger streams. But because, you know, this is a little more laid back, we do, because we just love you guys. What more can I say? 10 to 12 anyway, as Heroic. And now do have that 2-round advantage. Fnatic Academy just going to have to bite the bullet here and go for the full eco. Got a little bit of utility to play around with. Interestingly enough, they do go for the utility with no upgraded pistol. So this is just going to be an attempt to get that bomb down, laying up a whole bunch of smokes in towards B. And already Valdi's in a great place to deny this. Just goes for the shoulder peek, spots them all out. If he goes for the peek here, oh, the pop flash is insane, but Valdi's aim is not. Can't quite connect. They're going to get one. The nade finds another. The slam dunk from downtown. It's going to be Valdi to get 2, trying to shut down this eco push. And finally, there's P250. Sorry, the Glock reigns in death. And they have an AK now to try and play around with, but Nico denies the plant, finds them 2. Pleston does get 1 in return, gets a second. He's done work right now. He's on 3 frags. And Pleston's making this work. 6 HP in a dream. Finally going to fall at the hands of Modi. 10 to 13 as Heroic find themselves 3 rounds ahead.
Yeah, that was actually quite a good performance there. Managed to achieve quite a bit with only 1 AK dropped and, well, 2 players surviving. Not the best scenario for Heroic. That should have been a relatively clean one. Either way, they're still 13-10 up. It is going to be another buy coming in for this T side and, well, but they're going to be heading their way over towards this B site early on, at least. Looking to find any challenges that are there. It is only going to be Nico anywhere near the action. He has been playing this solo for quite a while. The rotation from Snappy is close, but I think just Karis making a little bit of noise may have baited them into a little bit of a false sense of security over on this site. Now we will have Yugi rotating in, and this partnership has been working very well since it sort of became apparent a few rounds ago, but, well, the push is going to come in. There haven't been any nades thrown out as of yet, but already Nico, Yugi, they combine. First couple of kills going their way. Yugi going to get another as they try and just throw a nade down to stop him having any sort of presence. The bomb at least will go down, continuing the buy in the next round, but other than that, Karis, well, he's coming in with a flank. Gonna need a lot of luck to be able to get anything done here, especially with the position of Body.
Yeah, didn't check that close corner, and Modi's ready at the trade. 10 to 14 now. It's like 1 round away from match point. The economy on Fnatic Academy will allow a buy. You know, a fairly okay one at that. They will have a nice bit of utility on Baton at least. A couple of these players, by the looks of things, going to forego the AK. And actually, they're just buying pistol armor.
Clearly they want the ult of their own, I guess. Going to be able to get that in with the max loss bonus next round, and it is quite interesting considering the score. The score is what interests me the most, because this literally means that they're playing for overtime, so...
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying. I can't believe they're going to go for the... I mean, yeah, it's an interesting idea, one that we don't normally see teams go for. But, you know, let's see if it works out. The only issue is they're putting a lot of pressure on the AWPer. Jay-Z walking, I mean, gonna have to try and go insane as they push towards this A site. Bomb should be going down here. Molly's in a great place to deny a couple of these entries. They do get the bomb down. No frags going their way just yet as they look to play things passively. Great pop flash, but it doesn't yield too much. Batten able to find one. Molly mopping up a second, looking for a third. Gonna be able to find that third one onto Batten, leaving it all on Jay-Z walking, who does get one. Looking for a second. Valdi spraying some shots up towards Molly, maybe his encouragement. Let's go for the defuse. And, oh! Why would they all try to kill Molly? The Danes clearly having a power struggle. Potential disband coming in soon. You heard it here first. They do pick up that 15th round, but clearly no one likes Molly.
Such a weird round. Clearly just the wrong cause. I wonder if Muddy was just sat there as they were screaming, he's upper, he's upper, he's upper, he's up, and then he's just sat there like, no, guy, no, and then just shoot him. I don't know what just happened there, but that was absolutely ridiculous. And while I speak of AWPs and they shall appear, this is why they were saving. They want 2 of them.
Well, you know, if things aren't going your way, buy AWPs. That's what we learned many times, actually, throughout Counter-Strike history. We've got the double AWP setup employed by Jay-Z walking and Golden. Interesting to see them try and employ this on the T side, and well, they already lose cars over towards B halls. What can I say? He's like a moth. He just loves the light. Already, that man advantage can be given away of Heroic. Jay-Z walking's able to find their equalizer, and oh, Snappy's head gonna just be rearing over the top of the train. Batten does finally take it off. The man advantage very quickly flipped on its head, and now fnatic Academy find themselves with a one man advantage. Full flash coming on in. Batten is delayed for the time being. Can't push out just yet, but you've got the smokes being lined up by Golden. They come in. And now the split push from Main and Pop Dog. They don't have anyone going Ivy, but Heroic aren't aware of this. You've also got a very, very passive play coming out from Yugi with that AWP over towards Ivy for the time being. Now he can hold these long angles, but it's Valdi to find the first. He's able to deal with Batten. And now from this position, he's incredibly strong. Can see over the top of that smoke, and Golden is aware of this. He's going to get tagged down low, makes him up the train, peeks his little face over, doesn't have it removed just yet as Plesson gets a refrag onto Valdi, returns that man advantage back in favor of the fnatic Academy, and Bomb's going to go down. 2 versus 3 for the retake.
Do have, of course, our AWP ready and waiting, and it's going to get the first, but now it's all down to him. 1 versus 2, and he's got to be careful. There's a secondary AWP in play already. We'll switch over to the rifle. If you spotted Golden there, it actually does seem to be looking in that direction. It doesn't know where the second player is. That's the only problem. I'm going to smoke onto the bomb, try and give himself a chance to actually get himself back into this round. Plesson is going to be ready and waiting, but actually the Molotov's going to go down. He's just going to go for this. Going to be counting down. Actually, Plesson going straight through. This could be the Ninja Defuse. Last round, Yugi. What a way to enter this team. Ninja versus 2. And that is the round done and dusted. And the map. What a ridiculous way to end it.
Yeah, 16-15 and a Ninja Defuse to end on. 1-0 as Heroic, they win out that first map. Next is going to be Mirage, and that is, of course, fnatic Academy map pick. I mean, you know, fnatic Academy can take a lot home from this. It was a map that they're not, you know, in comparison to Heroic, I would say maybe not as strong on, but I mean, still going up against players that everyone's kind of saying, you know, this could be a new tier 1 Danish team. The fact that fnatic Academy just put 10 rounds up against them and look to be incredibly strong is nothing they can be too disappointed with. Now, as we head into Mirage, that's where it's going to be all to play for here. Can Heroic wrap it up 2-0, or will we see Inferno come out as the series goes 1-1. We'll be finding out after a very quick break, but before we go, let's say hello to a couple of people in chat. Official Tommy, Hammerhead Kitty once again, Alubi, Tucson, Card School, Harry G 96. How you doing, buddy? You're nearly me. You're 1G less. And there's a couple of memes in there I'm sure you can extract out. Carter the Maker, Hedgeders, FaZe Dukes, Hortier, Paradox 911, Catpones, Marion XD, and some symbols. Barry White 96, Ebby, Kosa Miguel, Is Vaffy, I don't know, Bwenboy, Entriamped, and some other people. APOS and official text. There you go, done. Bam. Done. Cut to the break. Let's go.